All right. I think we're live. It says we are.
Yeah, probably.
I'm so happy to be here. Beard of Darkness, book reviews, do all the fun stuff. Subscribe, like, share, all that great stuff. The Andrew puts it helps build the channel. I love the way you do it. It's so nonchalant, and it's the exact way that I think we all feel about it. It's like, just do this and get it over with because, it just helps the thing. But we have Andrew from AndrewsWizardlyReads here. I've been looking. How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm good. I'm getting over a month-long sinus infection, so that's good.
Oh, that's a long one.
Oh, dude. Well, so I got over it, and then my kids got me sick with another one. And so it was just one right after the other. So I'm good. I might mute every now and then to blow my nose, but other than that, I should be fine.
Look, man, I respect it. I love it. And you and I are finally, I'm finally at this point. You've been there for a while where it's like we're live, things happen.
Yeah.
I think the first time I use my phone for a webcam, and it has died a few times on me. And you can still hear me. Don't get me wrong. I don't have to end the live. But the first time I'm having this heart attack, I'm dying a little bit every second. Now it's just like, hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I just got to plug it in. I forgot.
I'll do you one better. JCM Byrne. I was doing a author interview with JCM Byrne, author of The Hybrid Helix. And luckily I had a wonderful co-host from Kayla, Kay's Hidden Shelf. Because basically I'm doing the live show. And 5 feet away, I've got my infant son, and I've loaded up his tray with snacks just because I was solo parenting that night. And I was like, this will be perfect. He'll sit there, he'll snack. We can do the author interview. It's going to be great. And then about 30 minutes into the interview, he filled up on snacks and just went, bleh,
oh, yes,
everywhere. And I was just like, and then luckily, Kayla had my back. I dashed off to take care of the kid. It was.
Look, I think that people who do these live things, which a little precursor, before I started a YouTube channel, I said I won't take myself seriously until I do these. That's why I think I do it so frequently. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the things I opened my booktube doing, watching all of these people, all of these booktubers. Ooh, what is that?
Christopher D. Brand.
There we go. Christopher D. Brand, my guy. I love that cover, by the way. I've seen that everywhere.
I was trying to figure out where I put it. I'm just I know I have this.
Are you like me where you have this general area? You know where it is basically.
Yeah.
And you could basically go in blind and kind of grab it. But it's I
could
have moved.
All self-pub.
Oh, nice.
So,
I love that.
Yeah, that's all self-pub. And so it's constantly getting rearranged. So it used to be right here. And then it kind of got pushed down to the next shelf, and then it kind of got moved over here and up here, and then it's down here. It's
it's a thing, right? It's a thing where you just kind of one day you're bored, and if you're like me, which I think we are alike in a lot of ways, where our books have to be kind of pretty,
Oh yeah,
I know this because you what is it, Mylar,
that thing.
Yeah. So you have inspired me to start doing that. By the way,
it's a pain in the butt, but it's so worth it.
I used to take that stuff off and just I'll still scrape off stickers if it comes with a sticker on it, from a library. That's coming off instantly. Are you the same way?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. The minute I get back, it doesn't matter if that sticker's been on there for 40 years. If it's on there when I get back from the used bookstore, it's coming off.
Yeah. Love it. Because it's this pure thing that a book is when it's created and it's done. And then these stickers get put on. And it's always this anxiety filled, I got to get as much alcohol pads as I can because I have a lot of alcohol pads just laying around.
When Nika was in town a couple times ago, we went to an indie bookstore and I saw this woman. She was using lighter fluid.
Oh, wow.
And she was just lighter fluid won't damage the book at all. It'll take the adhesive right off. And she did it right in front of us. And we're just didn't know that. I've been using Goo Gone and Goof Off. There's always a 50% chance it'll damage the cover. And she was just lighter fluid every time. She's I do it here all day.
Oh my gosh, that is gold. I just wrote that down. I write a lot of things down, but that's got a star next to it.
Give it a try. Give it a try.
Yeah. It sounds like a reliable thing. So who else we got?
It's a drop or two, and it's a solvent, and it'll take it right off.
I love it. Thank you for that. Knoxwich Book Life, thank you so much for popping in. Montague, my Discord moderator, wonderful guy, an efficient guy, keeps me on time.
Oh yeah.
My guy, thank you for being here. Soul Free Wolf, love it. Thank you, brother. Aspiring writer himself. Timothy Wolf, indie author, love it. Thank you. He's always here.
I know the name Timothy Wolf. Why do I know that name?
Platinum Tinted Darkness.
Yes. Okay. I was like, I know the name. I've been meaning to get those books on my shelf.
I have to tell the story because this is the first time it's come up. So when he sent me his book, which I'm reading this month, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Doing a little buddy read. He sent me the hardcover and he sent me the softback. And my brother-in-law is in Poland right now, and he's with the army, and he is dealing with the refugees from Ukraine. Okay. And he is a fantasy freak. So I sent him the soft. Yeah, so I got to send him. So Timothy Wolf's book made it to Poland, guys. I think that's wonderful.
Good. That's a good way to do it.
Right. I love it. I'm in a race to see if my kettle will boil for the coffee before the stream goes live. Oh, these context, I think. These were all here before we even popped on. I love that. Hey. Thank you, guys. Let's see if we can get. If I miss a question, guys, pop it back up there. Because look, if you watched my live last night with 3 other co-hosts,
Corey, Mike, and Matt. Was it Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I skipped Mike like twice on a question just because I just was
there. Mike's like this small channel. He's very skippable. I mean,
yeah, very tiny. Right.
Very tiny. No, barely even heard of channel. So I don't think that'll come back to bite you at all.
No, he was so nice about it because look, I've done 7 at once before, and I actually did okay with the 7. It was the 4 last night where I get ahead of myself. Speaking of it, Matt, my guy,
Matt,
thank you, man.
Read books. Class act. I love Matt.
Yeah, I think he has one of the most genuine channels out there, and the accent too. That Louisiana.
I need to watch more of his stuff because it's just I'm subscribed to over 250 channels. Mm-hmm. So
that's a lot.
One of them,
yeah,
I don't get to watch everybody's content, but from what I have seen, I'm very impressed.
He does very good stuff. Yeah. And John Douglas tomorrow.
Yep, he's got a book coming out. Gorgeous cover.
Oh my goodness, right? John, in the chat, tell us who that artist is. I know he did the same cover for Hellborn King, Christopher G. Brennan.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is.
He did this cover for him, and I know it's the same guy.
I was actually supposed to. Chris and I were supposed to do the book reveal cover for book 3. And I got sick, and then he's got a dental surgery, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make the time work.
I seen his post, and I said, bro, if they touch your beard, you just call me, and I'm coming to Cheese Country throwing bows, dog. So,
J. Caleb Designs. He also did JCM's Partial Function.
Oh my gosh! If you look at that and you don't want to read it, oh my goodness! It just came out, and I've seen a lot of love for it. I'm so JCM agreed to an interview with me like very, very early in my channel.
He's such a class act.
Oh, just the best of guys. I'll read everything that he puts out eventually. Like, I loved Wistful Ascending. It was my very first sci-fi, if you will.
Oh, nice!
I loved it. Yeah. Brian Wilson, another wonderful indie author, The Forsaken Planet.
I've got that here somewhere too.
I know. I've seen it. I've seen the video you showing it, and I'm so glad that he's getting out there because he's such a badass guy. Dude, he builds houses. Yes. There it is.
I've done a little bit of Habitat for Humanity, but I haven't actually built a house.
That's like his living, and he writes books, so the guy's busy. He's got kids as well, so keep it up, Brian. Book Mama says show Christopher's book again, A Blade for Hire. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful, isn't it? Oh my goodness.
Look, we had it right there on hand.
Love it, guys. So we'll get to the first question because I ask these open-ended questions, guys, and I love how they just kind of like breed these better conversations. But here we go. What was the reason that you, Andrew, started your channel?
I was peer pressured into starting my channel.
Oh, I dare you, bro.
Well, no, it was more of I was ranting in the Discords about the Witcher books and stuff like that, like just because I don't think they're very good.
Yeah, I agree.
And a bunch of my friends were just like, "You got a lot to say," and I was just like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Do a channel," and I was like, "Nah." And
No.
no, my first like I very much stumbled into doing because I was stuck at home, I was bored, and I just decided to like make like a cheap little intro. I had horrible lighting. I was using my
Oh, we all do.
phone. I had this like crappy little ring light that was sitting like I was always trying to like figure it out. But Megan from Megan's Reading Revelations, she's still active, but she's not active within the community as much
Okay.
as she was. She's very busy. I think she's in school or something. And Nico, both teamed up on me.
Go sign up for Nico and her page, by the way.
Oh,
Awesome
yeah.
pages.
And how I got to Nico was very, very strange because basically I started watching Mike. Mike shouted out Slowly Read. Slowly Read shouted out Nico. I criticized Nico. We became very good friends. And then he bullied me into starting my own channel.
That is one of the most purely romantic stories I've ever heard in my life.
It was a daisy chain to get here.
Yeah, no, and romantic in like a nostalgic kind of way. What I mean, I love that because from what I understand and seeing your content and who you talk with, you and Nico are very, very your buddies. Like you guys get along very well as far as being book lovers. You went to see him on vacation, if I'm right.
We've met up every 6 months since 2021.
Oh, I love that.
Something like that. He's been out here 3 or 4 times because I've had kids and he didn't. And then I drove up for a day trip to see him in Chicago once, and then in March, I am going out to see him in his home state.
That's something I want to do. There's so many booktubers. I just need to find some close to me. So where are you on the map?
I'm in Indiana.
Yeah, oh, dude, we're not even that far away. I'm in Ohio.
Yeah, you're in Columbus, right?
Really close to Columbus. It's Chillicothe, the first capital of Ohio. If anybody, a little tidbit. So yeah, dude, we'll have to plan something like get some pancake breakfast or something. We'll do something like that. All you, Nico, and me or something. Bring the kids.
Bring the kids.
So that's awesome. I love to hear like the foundational stories, the reason, because they're never as like straightforward as one may think.
Yeah.
Me, it's a similar thing. I watched Mike. I really enjoyed everything he had to say. It's like a one-take video, so he's comfortable, really good at what he does. And he gives you like the info. I don't know as far as technically the information that he gives, but what he does give is what people are after. Does that make sense? Like what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
He gives a good rendition of the book. He doesn't spoil it, even though he does get his funny little comments from people saying, "Oh, this and that." He's got enough subscribers where he's got some hate comments, and they're really funny. Actually, they make no sense.
I'm just getting there. I get those occasions. I'll get the random like, "Oh, you completely spoiled this for me," and I was like, "Can you point to the like one thing that I said that completely wrecked this story for you?" Like, I thought I was being very vague. Well, I don't bullet point. I don't script. Literally, if it's rattling around in here and I can get it out of my mouth hole, that's what makes it into the video.
I love it. And I think that you should never change that up because that is like pure. It's from the heart, man. I love it. That's what amongst Mike and Matt's fantasy book reviews, you were another reason that I'm here. Very much so. So I absolutely love the channel. Yeah, I love it, man. Thank you. Yeah. Case Hidden Shelf. Kayla, thank you so much for stopping in. Me and her have a little thing. I think it's the first time I get to hang out with somebody on there.
Yeah, you're going through the whole Wizards Enclave Discord.
Which, by the way, guys, if you haven't, now real quick, that's not a like Patreon only Discord.
No.
Okay. So before
it has a patron section where I run my Patreon out of it, but it's an open Discord. It's got sections for Boiled Jellyfish, for Kayla, Nico, Patrick Ryan, and myself.
Love it. Yeah, guys, go sign up. I'll have the stuff in the description for all that fun stuff. In fact, let me write that down. Discord, because I'm a part of it, so it'll be really easy for me to do.
Yeah.
Tim McKay, another wonderful indie author. The downside to these awesome booktuber chats is now I have a YouTube to be watched almost as long as my TBR. Yeah. Look, Andrew puts out a video once, if not like more than once a day. His shorts are wonderful. They're quick. You can see what he's doing and can go about your day too. It's like very convenient.
To be fair, that might be a change that those might be going away.
Okay.
Even though it's a lot of they're very quick to do, but it takes a lot of brain power to constantly come up with one a day.
Yeah.
Because like I'm constantly just looking at my shelves going, okay, what can I do? And after a while, it feels like, okay, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel, just constantly just trying to squeeze one out. And you know, it's weird because basically YouTube kind of slapped me a little bit, where I saw a 40% drop in all my stats, and I don't know where it came from. And so it's like, okay, I got really kind of bummed about it, and this was just last week. And I was just like, if I'm going to play the game and you're not going to let me play the algorithm game, then I'm just going to do this for fun, and I'm not going to play your algorithm game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing some switch ups on the channel hopefully here soon. It's not going to be like completely different, but I just asked my patrons like, hey, I give you guys a weekly reading wrap up, but like not all of you watch it. Would you like me to see that on the regular channel and then me give you guys something else, like maybe like a live hangout or what's going on? So we're going to see kind of how they vote, and then that might lead to some changes in the channel.
So I love that you brought that up, because one of the things I'm struggling with is like to do what we do. There's software memberships that we have. There's books, and like if you make merch, my wife makes me merch. By the way, I have her.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually support indie authors shirt. A lot of people bought those. Yeah, dude, they're super comfy. It didn't shrink on me, which I'm 6'5". Look, most things are a belly shirt on me. This didn't shrink at all.
I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. We'll be good.
On a good day. I love it. So, but basically what I'm saying is, isn't this community, maybe a left turn here, isn't this community just like the best? And I think Andrew D. Meredith is one of just the most finest human beings in the world.
I got to meet him in real life.
I know you did. I saw it.
I love Andrew. Andrew is literally one of my best bookish friends. I can basically talk to Andrew about anything.
Man, and a guy that can write a book and then do the audiobook. What's going on, man? Where's the talent for the rest of us?
I'm hoping to get to his Gloves of Aeons next month, and then his wife is releasing a book tomorrow.
Wow,
which is a Christmas story, a Christmas crime story. And I'm so excited for it. I got an arc. I wasn't able to get to the arc. Yeah, I'm going to be reading it before the end of the year. Like, it's
may I ask the author name?
Patricia Meredith. Patricia Meredith. Right here.
Oh, 1 second. I don't have you. Okay, right there. Patricia Meredith. I love that. Oh my goodness. Andrew, I'm so sorry. I did not know your wife was a writer, and this is the kind of gold that I'm after. I am so excited.
So, like, that reading her books got me back into Agatha Christie.
Oh, you've been on Agatha Christie lately.
It's because of Patricia.
Wow, that's a compliment if I ever heard one.
Yeah, she's a really good writer.
Wow. So, as somebody who wants to write, do you want to write, Andrew?
I've thought about it. I've kicked it around. I don't know.
Okay.
If I'm being completely honest, like when I was one of those kids who, when I was growing up, I told my parents I wanted to be an author. And my dad was like, no, you don't. There's no money in it. And he very, very much just tamped down that desire in me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if I've ever, like, don't get me wrong, like I'm fine. But it was one of those desires that was never really encouraged. So
I understand what you're saying.
Never really got the urge to get over that.
Okay.
I did some creative writing in high school. They all ended up being action thriller short stories. In the same vein of like the Sigma Force novels.
Oh my gosh, dude! You literally just, oh my goodness! I don't think you know how much. I would mess my green screen up, but dude, James Rollins is my guy.
Yeah, I love James Rollins.
I'm so happy to know that. I did not know that you were a James Rollins fan. I don't find many in the fantasy realm, if you will. Although the Moonfall, have you read the Moonfall saga?
I am very far behind. If that's his new fantasy stuff, I have not read it.
Oh, it's so good. I highly recommend it.
Is it?
Oh my gosh, let me grab it.
I had the first book, and then like a year went by, and I never read it, and so now I need to rectify it.
Bro, you do. The Starless Crown, and then the Cradle of Ice.
Yep.
James Rollins, which I have to shout him out. There's a bookstore, I believe in Arizona. I believe it's in Arizona. I could be wrong.
There's a Footprints?
No, it's Poison Pen. The Poison Pen.
Yep.
And they do especially like they have their authors who they do a lot of. Like he's one of them.
Author signings.
Yeah. I was so happy. Like James Rollins has been one of the biggest inspirations to me. So I got to order through them, and they offer, kind of like Broken Binding. They get these authors to come hang out for a little while and, sign 1,000 copies.
Yeah.
And they don't really charge you like a crazy amount. I think it was like $35 for a pre-order of a signed book. Like, okay, no problem.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was so fun. I can't wait to hear some more through my friends here in BookTube about James Rollins. I hope more people get to him.
Did you ever read Steve Barry? Steve Barry's really good. Matt Riley's really good.
Oh, Matt Riley.
He's an Australian author.
I have Steve Barry on my shelf here. I haven't read him yet, though.
And then Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child.
Yes, dude. Horror.
Only the first 9 books of the Pendergast are what I recommend. Everything else after that, it got a little long in the tooth.
I got you. So I had one of their books. I just sold it. I don't remember the name of it. But I like the writing. I do. It was one of those that didn't hit home.
Yeah.
Now James Rollins, so the Sigma Force series is like this techno thriller. James Rollins himself goes to these conventions, gets a taste of these new technologies and incorporates those into his book. It's fun. So who were some influential booktubers you watched prior to having your own? Did you like endlessly binge these people like I did?
No. So the way I even discovered BookTube was it was recommended to me.
Okay.
I didn't. Oh, excuse me. Mm-hmm. I didn't discover it. Literally, I was working in an office, and my boss was kind of into indie books, and so he was giving me a whole bunch of urban fantasy indie recommendations. And he mentioned Daniel Green, and so I went and looked up the channel.
Small channel, guys.
Oh yeah, never heard of him. He's up and coming. And I read a couple of Daniel's recommendations, and some of them hit and some of them didn't. And it was about a 50-50 or a 70-30 split. Like it varied. And I was like, I don't know if this guy is quite exactly for me when it comes to like getting my recommendations.
Yes.
And so then I stumbled upon Mike when Mike was probably 30,000.
Much different video then, by the way. You guys should check out his first stuff. Great, but much different.
Maybe 30,000 is where Mike was at. And then around that time, Petrick launched. And then, of course, there was Nico, Mark from Slowly Read, who is a mostly defunct channel. I got to hang out with Mark again at Mike's 100K live show. And he said he might come back.
Slowly Read?
Yeah, Slowly Read.
Okay.
Great guy.
I wrote that down.
Great guy. And then there was Alex Nieves. I discovered Alan. And yeah, pretty much from there, like the community opened up. But I'm always discovering new people.
Yeah. I'm often in like I'm always shopping for new booktubers. So it's really fun.
Have you done SFF 180? No,
I have not. I have to write that down. SFF 180.
Just yesterday, I was on his live stream for his 10-year anniversary.
Oh wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah, he's been doing book reviews for 10 years. I don't know if all of that's on YouTube, but he's a great guy.
Here's a really good question. by Matt at Go Read Books. Andrew, what is your favorite horror book? Does any horror books actually scare you?
So it's funny. I am a big sissy of horror in the visual medium.
Okay.
So my sister used to terrorize me as a young kid with horror movies because she knew it would get me to leave the room. I'm a younger brother, if you can't tell. So I was the annoying younger brother who would pull the heads off her Barbie, stuff like that.
Amazing.
Great fun. Always recommend.
Yes.
And I was convinced growing up that because of that situation, I wasn't going to like horror books. In college, I read The Shining, and I absolutely loved The Shining. But it never made me reach for horror. Now I've read probably 30 Stephen King books.
Half of them.
My favorite is not a horror book by him. That's The Green Mile, followed by Needful Things, which isn't exactly a horror book either. So if I have to go horror, I'm going to go Nightmareland Chronicles by Daniel Barnett.
Ooh, what is it? Nightmareland of Chronicles?
Nightmareland Chronicles by Daniel Barnett. Give me a second.
Yeah, grab it, brother.
Leslie and I are acknowledged in the back of Lily.
Oh, wow.
And so there it is. There's book one. And this is Daniel Serra is the cover artist. He is amazing. I believe it's Daniel Serra. Lullaby. And the first 3 or 4 are like novella length.
That's a booktuber that's very accessible.
And then City of Blood.
Those covers are extraordinary.
And then Lily. Yeah, this same cover artist has done special editions for Stephen King's books.
No way. That is incredible. I have to check that out now.
He's an amazing horror artist.
Matt, I think that was one of the best answers you could get right there. I circled that answer like 4 times because a lot of this looks like gibberish when I'm done, but like there's that some that it's like, oh, I need to get to that. Thank you for that.
I mean, literally, it's not a long series. This is arc 1. So he's currently writing arc 2, and he won't start releasing those until the arc is done.
What a respectable author he is, right?
Oh, he's fantastic. He's one of the first authors I interacted with. He might be one of my first or second author interviews on my channel.
That's amazing. I love that. I have to go check that out now. 100%. John A. Douglas. Again, The Black Crown comes out tomorrow, guys.
He says my favorite series.
He says, if you had to live in a world of your favorite fantasy series, how screwed are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
My favorite fantasy series, man. Like, I don't know.
That's a hard one.
I don't know what technically is my current favorite. It shifts. Like, it was Wheel of Time for the longest time, and then that kind of got moved to the like placeholder spot. Like, it's like off the list, and it's like the legendary status because like I don't include it on my top 10. It's just a place of honor.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I want to talk about other things other than Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
but if I have to live in the world of Wheel of Time, I'm super screwed. If it's Discworld, I'm super screwed. If it's it can't be Discworld. Oh, favorite world? I don't know.
That's a hard one, John.
Yeah, I don't know what my favorite is right now.
Well, you gave a couple good answers, and I think that inevitably most fantasy series have a world in which us normal folk would be screwed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd be boned.
So when you were talking about SFF 180, you were talking about a channel that I got that maybe not a lot of people know about. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But one that pops in my mind is BellTube. I think today I think it's like 6 or 7 days old.
Yep, I was his 18th subscriber.
My guy, I knew he would be. But dude, I see a very good future for him. So shout out to BellTube.
Brian's good dude.
I hear that. It seems like he's got somewhat of he's been implanted in book realm, if you will, for longer.
So has Talking Story.
Yeah, dude, John Minton's so good.
He knew Ellison.
Okay, yeah. I love it. I love it.
He's been in the bookish scene for forever.
And these guys come out with these booktube channels when they finally pull the trigger, and they're just like, man, I wish
Amazing.
my first video was that spectacular.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I was just a book nerd. I didn't
Yeah.
have it. I didn't have any weight behind me.
Look, I'm not one of those guys that will delete my first anything. If you
I
guys
did.
want some,
Well, I didn't delete it. They're privated. They're still there.
if
But
you
they're
want
for my
some
eyes
real,
only.
if you guys want some real laughs, go to my first interview, and I owe him a new one, by the way, a mulligan. Casey Sutton was my very first Malthus Necromancer Unchained.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was my very first interview. If you want a good chuckle and some contrast to where I am now, go check that first interview out, guys. It's fun. Like I said, he is getting a mulligan when he texts me and says the date. He's getting it. But yeah, it's a way to grow. I think you look at where you were, where you're at, and you just appreciate it. At least I do.
I'll tell you right now, even Murphy Napier has privated some of her videos.
Sure. And if you guys don't, which I'm sure you do, Murphy is just
Murphy's
like
great.
What is like 500,000 subscribers?
Yeah, something like that.
Dude, something
She's
stupid big.
got 2 panels, so
It's incredible. So Timothy Wolf, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Belltube, of course, man. Enjoy both your channels quite a bit. Thank you for that.
Thanks,
that
Brian.
means a lot. So, what has been the most fun for you? Interviews, a specific video or type of video, meeting new people? What's your deal as far as the most fun you've had so far on YouTube?
Oh man, the most fun I've ever had.
Yep.
There was a group of us last year, maybe, and we would do we had a tipsy wine reading sprint thing going, and it would alternate channels. Most of them are defunct now. They've all gotten busy. Kate,
so you mean like they don't produce any more videos?
Yeah, they don't produce anymore. It was Evie from She Was Only Evie. She still does live shows, but she doesn't do regular uploads anymore. It was me, Greg from what was Greg's channel?
I'm not familiar. Sorry,
the Perch. There we go. That was his name.
Okay.
And then Kate, the Almost Book Doctor, Anitha from Anitha Gade would occasionally join in. And there was a couple times we got a bit too tipsy.
Sure.
And things just went off the rails. And those were always a lot of fun. So,
when I do these 9 o'clockers, I always like to crack an Angry Orchard.
Yeah.
I like an Angry Orchard. What's your favorite?
I'm a bourbon drinker.
Oh, you like the hard real man shit. I got you. Okay.
Let me clarify. I can only do like a finger or two. Like a night.
Yeah,
anything other than that, and I've noticed that post 30 it'll start to I don't get angry, I get irritable.
Okay.
So I just kind of limit that to like maybe once a week. I used to brew my own beer. I used to be a beer nerd. I did all that with my uncle, and when he passed I just kind of gave it up.
So I live in Appalachia, so we have those moonshiner buddies around here. And let me just tell you, that's a whole nother breed of man. If you've ever drank 170 proof straight, which I have one time, and you bet your bottom dollar I won't again, it feels like straight up Drano, although I don't know what that is. But man, it burns all the way down, and you're just like, I don't know why people drink this. Now, if you mix it, which is what you're supposed to do, fellas and ladies, it's pretty good. But it's one of those you start to sip and then you stand up and it's like, I got to slow down just a little bit, so that's fun. I think that's so cool. I've always thought about brewing my own beer, but
it's fun.
Would you recommend like buying these little kits that you find at Walmart?
No.
Okay.
No.
We'll get together in our DMs one time, and you can explain to me the ins and outs of that, because I think that would be fun.
Sure.
Beltube, he says whiskey absolutely can shorten a person's fuse as opposed to other alcohol. I've heard.
Yeah. So I don't drink as like I used to be like 2-3 beers a night, early 20s. Like I was like I'm indestructible. I got a beer gut, had to get rid of that. So I got rid of the beer gut, and then like I hit 30, I started getting congested whenever I drink beer, which was annoying. Wow. And so then like I was like, okay, maybe I like mead, which I love mead.
I haven't had that yet. That's honey based, right?
Honey wine. It's so good. Viking's Blood. Viking's Blood is where it's at. Oh, so good.
I just did some ancestry like 2 years ago, and so from Denmark they traveled. My my great grandfather went from Denmark to Michigan in the same exact city where my mom and dad were born. They have not moved. My ancestry was very easy. Denmark. So I have some Viking blood, guys. I'm so excited. That's where I'm going to write, by the way. That's my niche.
My ancestry is a hot mess.
I hear that's probably the majority. I mean, think about it. We all get mixed up. And
my paternal family got here in the Americas in 1750 in Pennsylvania from Germany.
Okay.
But then my mother's side of the family is Ukraine and then Azore Islands, so Portuguese.
That is incredible.
And my grandparents were first generation on my mother's side. So
do you find that just as enchanting as I do? Like, it's just the coolest thing ever.
I love it. And they're both deaf.
Wow.
So
have you noticed that as a reoccurring thing in some of your family members? Is that kind of stuff? That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. So Daniel Klauser says, nope, buy the equipment as far as beer brewing. Love it.
Yeah.
And
it's an investment.
John says, beer, no, don't drink that. We use that to burn warts off the mules. I believe it, brother. That'd burn the stank off anything you put it on. I kind of gathered this, but Daniel says, I used to brew beer. It's not easy to get a kit. It will be just as much of a hassle and give you a lesser product. Okay.
Yep.
Thank 100%. You for that. Charlie Cavendish. Oh my gosh. What a reviewer. What a buddy. I love this guy. Give me a single malt any day. You guys are more of a man than me. It's
you don't like whiskey?
I do not like whiskey. I'll tell you, if it's going to be something hard, it's going to be probably like apple pie moonshine.
Okay.
Something like that. Whiskey, I've tried. Beer and moonshine, apple pie kind of deal. I like the cherry rendition of that too.
Okay.
We've got a spot here. It's in a place called Bainbridge, Ohio. It's called Pap's Hilltop. He does honey, just honey. Like he has a honey farm, and he also has a copper still that's legal in the front of his store. You can go in and kind of like sample it and watch it be made. It's so cool, guys. There's a real art. It's a real scientific thing that these people, and now he doesn't look at it that way. He's got like these bib overalls and he's chewing tobacco. It's just the best. It's like watching somebody in their natural environment, It's so fun, man. So what was a novel? I have an answer, but I want to know yours, because the reason I ask these questions, I kind of look at my experience and I'm searching for the answer from your experience. What is a novel you normally wouldn't have picked up that you ended up loving because of your Booktube channel?
I mean, we've already talked about Nightmareland Chronicles, so that's an answer there. But I mean, almost all of these.
Yeah.
There's so much. Like, I mean, I guess one that I could talk about is Legend by David Gemmell.
Oh.
Where are you? Are you all the way over here?
I haven't read David Gemmell yet.
Wow, no, I've already got it pulled out. So it's right there.
Oh, yeah.
So this is book one. Mike. Okay, Mike's here, and he's Stephen King. And that is also another true answer. Yes. I do read a lot of Stephen King, and it's all Mike's fault. But I'm gonna go Legend as well, because picking this up on the recommendation of, I believe it was Sarah from Sarah Reads. And I absolutely fell in love with David Gemmell, and I've got probably 30 of his books here.
Wow, that's amazing. I've heard such wonderful things. And Mike, by the way, I don't have a chance to skip anybody tonight because I only have one co-host. So that's a good thing. He was such a gentleman about it, though.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He is. He's he's the reason I'm here, and it sounds like one of the reasons you're here. So
He is one of the reasons that I'm here. Yeah,
love it.
he's
Mike,
always been very kind to me. Very
yeah,
nice, always accommodating. He's a busy man, and he makes a lot of time for a lot of people.
he does. So let's hail Mike's book reviews. Moment of silence. That was for you, Mike. Matt Jones. By the way, I highly recommend his short story called The Shepherd. Oh my gosh,
nice.
Highly recommend it.
Where's
The
my
first
pen?
short story I ever read was The Shepherd by Matt Jones. Me and him talk on a quite frequently, and he's got some books coming out I'm very excited about.
Actually, that's my work one. Where's my?
Gosh, I wish. So short stories are so hard to find on your bookshelf. Like, I know the general area, but it's like they're so small, they're probably being hidden in plain sight.
Who, me?
Oh, no. Short stories, Matt's. I think I may have found it. Hold on. Dear God, I did. There it is. Matt Owens.
Oh, I
Jones.
like
Look at
that
that, dude. Oh, and the story is just like what you see. It's this old man that just loves his granddaughter, who, if you can't see, has one kind of messed up eye. There's a good story there. It's like, yeah, it's like 35 pages, but oh my gosh, you end like a good short story. Like, you end with it, you're like, I wish this was longer. But
Ken Liu's what's Ken Liu's great one?
I have The Grace of Kings is what I have.
No, that's his novel.
Yeah. Oh, he has a short story. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got short story collection. Paper Menagerie. There we go. I was gonna get it out. The short story Paper Menagerie made me cry. In 16 pages.
Wow. Paper Menagerie. I'm going to butcher that spelling, but
Belltube gotcha.
There he is. All right. So I've spoken.
He butchered the spelling too, but
yeah. Oh well, okay. Well, that's okay. We'll get there between like spell check and Google. But one thing I've been looking for is a book that made me have such an emotional response, like what it gave you, like these tears. Because, man, as a man, I don't care what this makes me sound like. You want to hit that spot. You do. You want to feel so emotionally involved in a story that you just get that feeling. So I'm searching for that. And thank you for that little tidbit.
I tend to get there at the end of series, like the very end of Cradle. If there's like there's like certain Easter eggs that'll hit me in a specific way that'll get me all just kind of up in arms. And oh, dude, Mike, it's his first book, so it's his roughest work, but at the same time, like, it's still really good. And he did really I can't say he's done, he did since he passed, but he did really clever things later on in the series where he'll go in and he'll do some stuff that will then recontextualize legend. It's really, really creative stuff.
Wow. I heard you say earlier Discworld. Are you a big Terry Pratchett fan?
I won't say I'm a big Terry Pratchett fan. I am a Terry Pratchett fan.
Cool. I have the first book. What is it? The Color of Magic.
The Color of Magic. I haven't read that one.
But I keep hearing that's the worst place to enter the Discworld.
The Rincewind books are not the most beloved. The most beloved is The Witches, Death, and Guards. I love Guards. I will die on that hill that it is the best of Discworld. The best standalone is probably Small Gods, from what I've been told. I have it, but I haven't read it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Death as a character in Discworld is amazing. I think the storylines are a bit meh. And then the Witches, the first couple Witches books were really, really good, and then they just lost me.
Love it. Gosh, this is what I'm after, guys. I always tout that I'm here for learning, and like, there's nothing better than adding to my TBR, just confident in what I've heard from other people. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, I just do unto others with that which has been done unto me.
Yeah, thank you for that. I love it. So can you point one singular favorite novel?
One singular
favorite novel.
My favorite novel of all time. I mean,
Folks, this is a hard question.
yes, I can.
Hmm.
And it's an answer that really hasn't changed much. It's come close to being dethroned, but the sequel kind of left me lackluster. So if you would
Can I
ask me,
guess? Can I guess? Can I guess?
sure,
Ender's Game?
if I was 12, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, no, I like Ender's Game. I love Ender's Game, actually. I can't stand Orson Scott Card.
Yeah, no, I know that. So
Um,
you're kind of with me with like the artist separate from the art.
as long as they haven't gone and committed like actual crimes.
Got you. Yeah, no, I agree. I
Like,
agree.
but like I just think the guy's an absolute dick.
Yeah, he is.
And if you'd asked me 6 months ago, I'd have told you Daughter of the Empire.
Oh yes, by Martin Lawrence, right? Or
No.
no.
This one's Raymond E. Feist and Janie Wirtz.
Ooh, why did I say that? Now
He's got the Empire trilogy. You're thinking Prince
Daughter
of
of Red. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I've got that.
There's also the why are those out of order? No, they're not out of order.
What is that series in your right hand?
This one?
Yes.
This is Book of the Ancestor.
Book of the Ancestor, but it's okay. So I was confused. I thought that. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But for me, it's always going to be The Eye of the World.
Oh, nice. Such
Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. I don't care if y'all think it's a Tolkien ripoff. Come for me. I don't care.
I have to say, because I have not read any Tolkien. I'm saving that for my kids as they get older. I read Eye of the World as one of my very first fantasy books ever, so I had nothing to compare it to. Okay, now let me ask you: did you read it? I believe it's the 30th anniversary edition, or it's some sort of anniversary.
That silver garbage one?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So why is it garbage?
It's just not a special edition.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you in that. But the reason I liked it, or maybe feel the way I do, is Brandon Sanderson had like a beginning to it, like a prologue.
Oh, you're talking about the introduction?
Yeah, the introduction.
I was reading Jordan before Sanderson was involved.
Got you. So that book just gave it to you. Finding the two rivers and how it just was such a beautiful place, and then they get these uninvited guests, and oh, it's so beautiful, dude.
I've read the book. I've read the book, maybe not as much as Mike has read Dune, but I'm getting up there. I think I've read Eye of the World 9 times.
Oh my goodness, that's dedication, because it's a chunker. It's a big one.
I've been reading that book since I was 11.
I started reading fantasy when I was 29. I'm 33. So I have not been
33.
90s babies. Look at that. What was the month you were born?
March.
Okay, I'm in November. Mine's coming up in 2 days.
So I'm older than you. Okay.
You are officially. You have a couple more gray hairs than I. Well,
I mean,
you won't see them.
I've got quite a bit.
I love it. Now, would you say Robert E. Or wow, I almost said Robert E. Lee. Robert Jordan is your favorite author, or do you have a separate favorite author?
I would probably say King is my favorite author, if I'm being honest with myself.
Love it.
I've read 30 books by Stephen King, and that obviously is telling.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I don't think he's the best writer on my shelves, but I keep going back to Stephen King.
What is it about his writing that you like?
I don't know. I like there's a frankness to his writing that I just absolutely love. The way that he can do characters and get into a character's head, I really, really enjoy that.
Timothy, I do that quite a bit. Like, there's Robert E. Howard that does Conan. There's Robert Jordan. For some reason, I almost go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, if you had asked me at 14, it had probably been Jim. No, I'd say probably 17. It'd have been Jim Butcher.
I haven't read the Dresden Files.
I've read the Dresden Files too many times.
So would you say that that's a pretty good urban fantasy to start with?
Yes or no? I would rather recommend Alex Verus by Benedict Jaka. A, because it's shorter and it's finished. And B, if you start Dresden Files, you're setting yourself up for a 15-year wait for the series to finish.
Oh,
he's
man.
got at least if he's been telling the truth all these years, and he just added a book to the series. He wanted to do 22, which is now 23. He's on 18. And Battlegrounds came out, what, a year and a half, 2 years ago? He just released his newest book, The Olympia Affair, which is Cinder Spires #2. And then he wanted to do an Apocalypse trilogy. So that's another 3 books. So you're looking at years.
So the only positive thing I have to say from somebody who hasn't read the Dresden Files, he's pretty young. He's not old. He's not like super young.
Butcher?
Yeah, Butcher.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying that he's gonna die. I'm just saying you're setting yourself in for a lot of waiting.
Yeah. I think
there's a lot of reading. But I also personally feel that the series has gotten long in the tooth.
Okay, so by that you mean kind of like it's had too much time.
Yeah,
I got you. And thank you, Daniel Klausler. I did not know that Robert Jordan also wrote some Conan books. I did not know that.
And he wrote a historical fiction series that I just picked up the first book in.
Oh, wow. See, that's the kind of gold like I always talk that I'm after. I had no idea. You hear Robert Jordan, you think Wheel of Time, of course.
Yep. Oh, of course.
But some okay, so thank you, Andrew. He's 52. Yeah, he's got some writing hopefully ahead of him. But still, as Andrew says, long in the tooth. It's been a while.
18 books, and it feels like we're at 18 books.
Gotcha. Love it. That's a realistic take, guys, from somebody who's read it and
I've read it 4 times.
Yeah, so you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's the kind of gold people are after. I've been looking forward to get into the Dresden Files. Well, this is the reality of it.
The reality is the books are good. The books are good. If you vibe with Dresden, good. Like, set yourself in for the journey. They're great palate cleansers. They're good books to read, but I mean, honestly, after very few series can keep that momentum going. And when they decided to split Peace Talks and Battlegrounds, it felt like a split book. It felt, I don't know. I didn't like the experience of reading those 2 books.
Look, guys,
after waiting 7 years.
If you're not subscribed to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, like, he's a very honest. He's a very, very. That's the best compliment you can give a booktuber. Is he's honest. He's critical. He likes what he likes. He does, and he gives reasons. If you haven't subscribed, please go do so. You are doing yourself a favor. You're adding yourself amongst me and so many others who watch him daily, and he does it on his porch, I believe. These really casual like shorts that you're like, oh, you're on your porch too. Oh, I love it. HC Noel, I'm so glad that you popped in. Oh my
I got
goodness.
those here, right here.
But do you have the special editions?
I do.
Oh, I love it. Okay, but here, I'm going to one-up you. The only time in this whole one she sent me people that I love on Booktube to type me a happy birthday to put in the very front of my book.
That is a one-up.
I love it. But my wife ordered the book and then asked her to get a hold of these certain people to wish me a happy birthday. And that happens in 2 days, my actual birthday. But Timothy Wolf.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. E.C. Greaves, Laura Howie. I think I said Tim Wolf, TJ, Tim McKay. He's in here. And Charlie Cavendish. There's Go
Very
Read
cool.
Books. So I have to shout it out. E.L. Montague, my Discord moderator, and somebody who I look up to because he's the most efficient human I've ever met in my life. So that's a very.
I jokingly, well, I don't. I tell HC that I'm her #1 fan. Me and people fight about it on Twitter.
I love that. That's a little bit of context for this. Yeah. I love it. Thank you, HC, for popping in.
She's amazing.
My wife just finished book 1, and I keep trying to convince her because I'm part of FanFi Addict's website. I'm a reviewer. And
Oh,
I
cool.
keep telling her, I keep telling her to do like a guest review. And I think I've almost got her there because I know it's going to be a 5 stars HC. Don't worry. Uh, in fact, when my wife reads a book, look, this is her very first fantasy book. I've tried to convert her for years.
Hmm.
And she picked up HC's book and she's loved it. And like, I'm like,
It's an intense book. An intense read.
Don't you dare spoil anything for me. And she'll start talking, and I'm like, you better just stop. Like, you better stop. Like, I don't want you. I'm reading it too as we speak. That's one of my current reads. We Are the Dead is another one.
Where's my We Are the Dead? I just got this in.
Oh, I gotta see it. Is it if it's the broken binding? I'm coming through the screen, dog. Oh, look at you. Oh, it's so beautiful. What else is in it?
It's signed and numbered, and
you know what? I like you, man, but right now it's just like I want that. Oh yeah, that's it. It's like, so did you get the trilogy?
Oh yeah,
of course you did. You look, he gets the folio edition, guys. He gets all these books from the folio edition. Let's see some folio. This is part of one of my questions, by the way, that you didn't know I was going to ask you. Let's they come with these cases.
This one's rare.
Oh yes, dude.
They don't make this one anymore.
Do you know how bad I wanted to have the money spontaneously show up like in my bank account when you were selling Joe Abercrombie's special editions?
Yeah. I don't regret selling those. But
dude, he's one of my guys.
Is he?
Yeah.
I can see why people like Joe Abercrombie.
He freaking just gets it for me.
I think Mike Shackle's better.
No. I love that because I'm reading Mike Shackle now, and I hope you're right. Not because I don't want to not like Joe Abercrombie as much, but I hope that reading gets better for me as I go on. Right now, I think I'm in chapter 6. Like, shit has hit the fan. The war's going on. They realize they're losing. Oh yes. So that's
Dune.
Hold on. Oh, that's Dune. I was gonna guess. I don't know why, but Zach Argyle.
Oh no, he doesn't have a folio, and that hasn't come out yet. Here's my never-ending story.
Ooh, now I just introduced my kids. I've got a 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old, and a newborn. My boys are all the oldest. I've got one girl. She's the youngest.
My girl's the oldest.
Your girl's the oldest?
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, I just introduced them to the movie, The Never-Ending Story, just because that was such a dear movie to me as a kid. Oh, yeah. Was it you?
Yeah.
Oh, you just want to kind of like scratch that puppy-looking dragon behind the ears and just say, "Just take me somewhere." Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Apparently, the book, the movie only covered the first half.
Wow.
Of the book. The other half of the book was not covered in the movie.
Now, remind me who wrote the book.
Oh, that is Michael Ende. It's a German book that was translated to English.
That's right. Thank you for saying that. I just remembered that. I when I was watching the other day, I said, I need the book, and I don't need it just in like paperback or like some mass paperback production type thing. I need it how you have it.
My last folio is His Dark Materials.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah. So, have you read all those?
Yeah.
Okay, so as an adult, did you enjoy them or did you read them young?
I read them young. I'm planning a 2024 reread.
Okay. Oh man, is it somewhat similar to the Narnia Chronicles?
No.
Wonderful.
Not that I remember.
Love it. Knoxwich Book Life, just Beard having a bookgasm, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
I plan on buying more folios once I have saved up for my camera and the new microphone that fits on top of the camera.
Bro, I often go to your videos hoping that you've got another folio edition that I can discover that I can just like add to my wish list that I'll never be able to afford.
I've got a Why I Love Folio Society video coming out here soon.
You represent them in a wonderful way. Tell me about it.
Oh my God, I love them. They've got great customer service. This is actually my second copy of The Never-Ending Story, because I received my first one, and it just had a small wrinkle up by the author name on the spine, And I kind of messaged them because, you know, it's not a cheap book. And I was just
No,
like, hey, the book arrived
nothing
damaged.
cheap from them.
Yeah, I was like, could I just get like a discount code for my next purchase or something like that? Or if you want me to send it back, I'm more than happy to send it back if you want to send me another one. And they were like, oh, don't worry about it. Just keep it. We're sending you another one.
Frick yeah, dude.
I was just like, what? And like, they're a UK based company. They like express shipped it to me in 3 days.
I was gonna ask, like the Broken Binding, they offer like a US, if I'm right, and tell me if I'm wrong. I know that they're UK based, but do they have like places in the US where they ship books from? No.
Not that I know of.
Same thing with Folio.
I have no idea.
Okay, that kind
I
of
know
brings me back.
they have a UK base and a US based website.
That's
Where
right.
they ship from, I don't know.
Got you. Yeah, that's kind of what I've meant. So like, I'm always on the Broken Binding looking for like the extra kind of like run over covers. Because don't get me wrong, when I'm available to subscribe to tier 1, I will. But if anybody has experience with that, that is a last time I touched to base with them, I was number like 6,000.
Oh yeah.
Stupid.
When I canceled my subscription, they were like, okay, well, you can't come back for 3 years. And I was just like, oh well, bye.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Sam Paisley. Let me see if your book's close, brother. It is, but it's in a pile over there, and I will absolutely wreck my green screen. But he's got a wonderful book that I'm just about to start. Gosh, and it's usually the ones that I can't wait to read that I have like a complete brain fart thinking of the name. But
Sam asked
do you have it?
So here's the slipcase. And then it feels very velvety in the hand. It is cloth bound. It is silvered. It has sprayed edges. I'm just going to go through the whole thing. It is illustrated.
Do the thing. Yeah,
These gorgeous end papers right here. It's got beautiful art right here. And I don't know if I can get to it, but this will either be a deal breaker or you can see that there's kind of some illustrations. It's got orange and blue font. You can kind of see it on this page. So this is orange and this is kind of blue. So it's got some really cool features in here. And then it's got some absolutely stunning art.
Oh my goodness.
So I would say yes, it is worth the money.
Love it. Remind me of
just for you, Sam.
I hope so. What a good guy. He was on my panel of 7, which guys just deal with my green screen. There's my kitchen table. You can look at it.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Elements of Time. Thank you, Daniel. Elements of Time. It looks so good. Like the cover. I wish I could find it. It's up here somewhere.
I'll write it down.
Yes. Elements of Time. It's like this. This is the impression without reading it. It's like a better rendition of Harry Potter, like with some sci-fi aspects. I've been carrying it around because I'm getting ready to read it. And like, I have this weird thing where like I'll go to Walmart and just carry books with me.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. These people are, and my wife's like, you're not going to have a chance to read that with 4 children, right? I'm like, I know, but what if? What if?
I was at a store today and I saw the new Kingsbridge book by Ken Follett. And I was just like, ooh, I should buy this hardcover.
Yes.
It's and then my brain's like, A, you have them all in paperback, so it doesn't match. And B, you haven't even started the series yet. What are you doing? Put it down.
Mike has talked me into reading The Pillars of Time.
Pillars of Earth?
Yeah, Pillars of Earth. I'm so sorry. Yes, Pillars of Earth. I cannot. He's talked about it in like, he's like, it's historical fiction. It's like you get it. Yes, right there. That's so beautiful. And I didn't know his name until just recently. But historical fiction is one of my favorite.
French Flaps, and
I love
it. I'm hoping to get to that in 2024. So.
Mike's new, I believe at his pace is probably not his newest video, but like one of his most newest videos, like most recent. He talks about how it's just he's got this messed up character, like psychologically, and like the cool thing about historical fiction is like there's aspects of it that are real, historic, but then you get to create this little tidbit that like it just leaves the author open up to do what they will. Create this character in a real time that done these things that may not necessarily be 100% true, but like in the most fantastic ways.
I love historical fiction.
I do too.
I've just recently started reading it, but so far, man, my hair is doing all sorts of stuff today.
Well, I envy that. I envy that. My hair is permanently gone.
Hey, it looks good on you.
Thanks, man. I overcompensate, so we're doing our thing. I love it.
Joanna.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I popped into her. So real quick, David Hopkins, who wrote.
Oh, you're just showing me all of these books, aren't you?
I know. I have to. The Dryad's Crown that he wrote for his daughters.
I'm writing it down.
You have to. To my daughters, Greta and Kennedy. And it starts out with this tree that has like this umbilical cord to her son that she hears crying in the middle of the night, and she wakes up. She goes, this tree. Oh my gosh, I haven't read it all, but I'm getting there. It's wonderful. So thank you for popping in, David. He says I have a few folio books, all the Earthsea ones which I haven't read, that are available. Game of Thrones, Handmaid's Tale, The Neverending Story looks great.
Oh my god! If you've got all the Game of Thrones, you've already spent $1,000.
Yeah, you know that.
I would love to have them, but
I believe it's Juniper. Is it Juniper Press or
they do the dust jackets?
Yeah, the dust jacket where you see like the whole trilogy of the Wheel of Time. It just looks beautiful. Yeah. Love it. Both beards look good. I agree. Andrew's got his own beard thing going on. Do you want to thank you?
I never think of myself as having a beard. I don't consider myself
you've got a beard.
I know I have a beard, but internally, like it's not something that computes.
Well, I think we all have our own little rendition of a beard if you want to grow one, and I love it. I love it. And not everybody can grow one. And I'm always
like I had to argue with my wife for about 2 years to let me grow a beard. And then like she was like, fine, you can grow the beard. And then like a year later, I just shaved it off, and she was like, no, bring that back.
No, right? Because it does. It gives you a sense of confidence. It does. Now me, I'm on the verge of like needing a trim because I get these like wispy.
Just get like a curling comb and some wax and blow it out. Get
a
beard blowout.
I use like the oil and stuff to keep the skin hydrated, but the straightener, I've bought it before, and it just makes me look like a doofus. It does. Like I see this little piece here. There she is. That I want to be like right there, but she won't.
Braid it.
As soon as it's long, it looks long enough, but I've had my wife try, and it kind of like, it looks like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't work yet. Now, eventually, yes, the Viking knot will be something I go to.
I used to LARP with a dude who could like braid it down. Like he was full Celtic, knot down the sides, and like you could braid it down. It was really cool.
That is super cool, man. I love it. He said, Christopher D. Brand says, my beard is as long as Andrew's. I can't stand the itching. It's horrible. Listen, get through it. If you're wanting, so don't shave then. Like, don't trim it up. Keep growing. The longer it gets, like, I don't have any itching unless I don't take care of it for like a month or something. You got to keep the wax on it, or not the wax, the oil. You got to keep beard oil. That's the one thing I would say that you have to do is the beard oil. It's like a conditioner. Nick Horvath, who has a wonderful book. Oh my gosh, Sledge versus a Labyrinth. Oh my! If you want gritty, punchy, violent, just military knowledge about the weapons used, not in military any, but kind of like this underground labyrinth of assassin kind of deal. It's very unique. I love it. Check his book out. But I used to have an epic beard, but the upkeep was draining. It can be. You just gotta let it grow. Once, like, I don't do much upkeep at all. I just get it wet and put some oil in it, and there we go. But What's next for you, Andrew, as far as your channel?
Well, I was mentioning a little bit, backstage that I'm thinking of doing a revitalization, just because I want to keep things fresh. I kind of hit, like I said, the algorithm smacked me down for what felt like no reason. Like I was doing 200 subs a month, and then all of a sudden it just vanished, dropped to 120 out of nowhere, and I hadn't changed anything. So I didn't know where that came from and what was driving that. And a few other people have also mentioned that their channels have taken random hits as well. And so it was just like, I'm kind of tired of chasing the algorithm. I just like, I've got a good base now. I've got a good audience.
You do.
I love my audience. If I grow, I grow. If I don't, I think I'm okay with that. And so what's new, or what the plan is I actually just posted before we went live. I'm thinking about adding in the weekly update to my channel. Depends on if the patrons are okay with that, because that is a feature that I offer them. But if they are okay with it, because not all of them watch it all the time, then I'll move that over and I'll probably institute something else for my patrons, because I want to keep that fresh as well. I might drop the shorts. I've been on hiatus from live shows for a while, and I'm kind of liking that. Like, I want to keep Wizardly Ramblings going, because I think John from Talking Stories is my next one.
Yeah, dude, he's such a good stinking. I just had him on.
Yeah, I got to get him scheduled. John's amazing.
He is.
And then there's a few other people I want to reach out to. I do want to do one with Patrick as well. But I really just kind of want to keep doing content. That's really all I'm doing. I'm saving up for a camera. I want to make sure the channel's looking better. But in terms of what's next is, I don't know.
Okay. No.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, but I don't fully know what that looks like yet.
I love that, because you're going to kind of play with things. I get that. I'm just glad to know that you're going to be still here. That's reassuring, because I think a lot of people like and love your channel, so that's wonderful to know. Tori Talks, one of the people I had on last night.
Friends.
Oh my gosh, she's got such a wonderful, honest channel. I love it. Thank you so much last night for being on with me. And if I skipped you, ADD. Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's taller than I am.
What is it?
She's taller than I am.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. I used to think Ryan Cahill was super short, and then I seen a picture.
He's like the same height as you are.
Yeah, he's the same height. I love it. There you go. I love you too, Wizard. Love it.
He's amazing.
Dude, I love the Booktube community. So one of the last questions
wants to know if I've told you about the Wandering Inn yet.
There it is. Slothy2K, has Andrew told you about the Wandering Inn?
No, I haven't, but Wandering Inn's great. I'm currently on book 4.
It is good.
And I love it. I love the Wandering Inn. It's so good. Like, if you just want a series that you could just fall into forever.
It's so long. It's the longest ever.
Well, don't think about the length. Think about, like, the way I've been starting to sell it to people is try book 1. If you like book 1, read book 2. If you don't like book 1, don't read book 2.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Read book 3.
So I've started it, and it's just this adventure.
Yeah,
those
a day
are my
in the
favorite.
Life. It's so good.
So one of the things that I in my belly, I can feel it when I start to read. I'm like, oh, we're about to go on an adventure. Instantly, I'm just like so happy I can't put the book down, which is why I know the Wheel of Time is so big. It's just this adventure they take you on, and it's something you can look forward to and know that you're going to be happy about. At least for me, that's my personal thing.
There's a couple books in there that are kind of rough.
I hear that. I hear book 10 you don't even need to read.
Listen, you should read book 10, but it's not good.
I love it.
It's not good. But yeah.
Tori says Andrew sounds like he's giving a Malazan pep talk.
Malazan. I need to come back to Malazan. I'm on book 4.
Oh wow. Okay. So I've started book 1, Gardens of the Moon, like 4 times, and I'm just like I keep seeing more booktubers telling me like I have to be so dedicated to reading it that I've put it down and started something a little easier to kind of digest.
Malazan it's the series you'll read when it calls to you.
Okay. I love it.
Don't try and force it into your schedule. If you try and force Malazan, you're just asking for a bad time.
I want to love it just as much as Matt's fantasy book reviews does. It's his favorite. Johanna, I hope I'm saying that right. Johanna. I know Johanna loves it. So
Philip loves it. A lot of people love Malazan. I won't say I love Malazan. I love certain aspects of Malazan.
I got it. I absolutely love that. I'm excited to read it. Who's somebody you'd like to see me interview in the future?
Say what?
Who's somebody that you'd like to see me interview in the future?
See you interview in the future?
Yep. I've been asking this lately. I love the answers so far.
Somebody I'd like to see you interview in the future. I'm gonna go. I mean, have you done BellTube yet?
I haven't. Nope. But we are scheduled.
There you go.
We're scheduled.
There's my answer.
I love it. And Tori says, Dead House Gates is my favorite fantasy book.
It's a really, really good book.
Love it.
But so is Bloodstones, and that's coming out here soon. So
yeah. Who wrote that? It could be Tori Tekken, right?
Yeah, it could be somebody by the name of Tori.
So listen, guys, Phased is on my TBR and has been pumped up. Let's see it. Oh yes. Art
by Sarah Ferrari.
Sarah Ferrari. Oh my goodness. I've got so many people to put in this description. I'll probably get that to tomorrow. By the way, guys, look for those description links tomorrow. So let's see. Erickson does epic badass better than anyone, and Tori agrees. I love it. Andrew, thank you so much for being on my channel and just kind of just hanging out, man. It's all I thought it would be and more.
It was a pleasure.
I thank your family for letting me borrow you for a little bit. I know you're a busy guy. Thank you for all the people who tuned in and asked all these wonderful questions. So yeah, I just really appreciate all of you and Andrew especially. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
I'm so glad to hear it. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. And until next time, guys, we'll see you next time and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Peace out.